From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, November the 12th, 2024. The IDF announced the deaths of 4 soldiers today, killed yesterday in fighting terror group Hamas in the northern Gaza Strip. They are 20-year-old Staff Sergeant Or Katz, 21-year-old Staff Sergeant Naveh Yair Asulin, 21-year-old Staff Sergeant Gary Lalruakima Zolat, and 20-year-old Staff Sergeant Ophir Eliyahu. Israeli troops continue battling terror group Hamas in Gaza, eliminating terrorists and terror infrastructure. And 2 civilians were killed today in a rocket attack by terror group Hezbollah from Lebanon on the northern coastal city of Nahariya. According to a Magen David Adom paramedic, the rocket hit a warehouse in the city, causing significant destruction and an active fire. He said 2 men in their 40s were both declared dead at the scene. They were later named by the Times of Israel as 52-year-old Ziv Belfer and 54-year-old Shimon Najam. The MDA said another 2 men in their 30s were lightly hurt by shrapnel at nearby kibbutz Kabri from another rocket that hit the area. And a drone fired by Hezbollah made impact next to a kindergarten in the Haifa suburb of Nesher. The kindergarten was thankfully evacuated just moments before the impact. While no sirens were sounded in Nesher, the kindergarten teacher told the Times of Israel they heard one in the distance. She said, "The moment we heard the siren and saw that a drone alert had come out, we said we are not taking any chances now, and within a few seconds, we were all in the shelter." The impact of the UAV caused damage to the building, shattered windows, and left scattered debris across the outdoor play area. The IDF is investigating why alerts in Nesher did not sound. Rockets were fired throughout the day at the area of northern Israel and also at central Israel. The IDF saying those rockets were intercepted and no injuries were reported there. The IDF continues to respond to the Hezbollah attacks, hitting terrorists and terror infrastructure in Lebanon. Also today, the IDF said a terrorist armed with a knife arrived at an intersection in the Shomron Brigade in Samaria, the West Bank, and tried to stab IDF soldiers in reserve who were operating at the military post. The IDF said the fighters neutralized the terrorist without casualties to our forces. Well, turning now to here in the United States, President-elect Donald Trump announced today that he will nominate former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee to be the next U.S. ambassador to Israel. Huckabee will replace current ambassador, former Secretary of the Treasury of the United States, Jack Lew. And Israel's President Isaac Herzog arrived at the White House today to meet with U.S. President Joe Biden. The two sat down before the press, where Biden welcomed the Israeli president and reaffirmed his support for the State of Israel.
I've been a friend for a long time, a personal friend, and you know my commitment to Israel is ironclad, and we share a deep friendship.
Herzog began his remarks with the sad news of the day, he said, of the 2 fatalities in Nahariya and of the drone that exploded next to the kindergarten in Nesher, and the need to end the ongoing attacks from Hezbollah in Lebanon. Turning to Gaza, Herzog said he spoke of the most urgent need to bring the hostages now held by Hamas in Gaza for 403 days back home. President Biden agreeing.
First and foremost, we have to get the hostages back home.
I agree.
Herzog also stressed the threat from Iran and making sure they can never fulfill, he said, their evil intentions. Herzog presented Biden with an archaeological artifact from the foot of the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, which bears the word Joseph, Yosef, and thanked President Biden for standing with Israel.
I'm here on behalf of the people of Israel and the nation of Israel and the state of Israel, to say to you, Mr. President, thank you very much. As we say in Hebrew, Toda Rabba. You've been an incredible friend of Israel and the Jewish people for decades. And we will never forget, ever in history, how you stood up with us in our darkest hour, which became our finest hour, how you came to Israel a few days after the barbaric attack of October 7th, how you helped us and supported us with words and deeds.
And the urgent need to bring the hostages home was front and center during Herzog's remarks last night at the Jewish Federation of North America's General Assembly, where he noted issues he has raised over the past year, including the hostage crisis, as well as rising anti-Semitism, and he said the hatred spread by the evil empire of Iran. Herzog saying, above all, I emphasized that the people of Israel choose life. The president also spoke of the critical role of Jewish unity, especially since the atrocities of October the 7th and everything since during this extremely painful last year.
October 7th was a defining moment in Jewish history, not only because of the massive devastation, but because it reminded Jews what we need. We need each other, and that we have each other. We have all seen how much strength we can summon and how much comfort we can draw from choosing to come together as one people.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, November the 12th at 7 o'clock. On the ISGAP Hour, it's interviews with Natan Sharansky and Jonathan Spire. At 8, join us live for the season opening game as Yeshiva University Maccabees men's basketball team takes on Springfield College. At 9:30, Rabbi Hirsch delivers a sermon inspired by Mark Twain's essay, The Character of Man. At 10, it's the ILTV's Insider, which is also coming up next. At 10:30, an encore of the news. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, November the 12th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.